Day one, what do you begin doing to help alleviate the stress on the economy and the average person to help them increase their standard of living and better the economy?
Yeah, look, I think that there's some very basic things to do. One is the easiest thing you could do to alleviate both the national debt and the economy at the same time. There's a lot behind this, but I'll just get to the punchline. Get the oil and natural gas out from underneath our ground. We know how to do that. Sell it and buy down about $8 trillion of our national debt. That takes us from 34 to 26. Next, end this, in a lot of the foreign wars in Ukraine, elsewhere, that's another $7 trillion of our national debt. Now our national debt problem, $7 trillion was due to Iraq and Afghanistan, and I don't want to be on the track to do the same thing. And then initiate a mass firing, not a chisel, but a chainsaw-style firing.
Afuera.
Of 75% of federal bureaucrats. Start that on day one. That is, of every 4 people there, 3 of them will be gone. Definitely by the end of the first term, and preferably sooner. And problem is, when you got a bunch of those people showing up to work who should have never had that job in the first place, they start finding new things to do. A lot of them is writing regulations that Congress never authorized, which is acting like the wet blanket on the economy. And my first action as it relates to the regulatory state is any law that Congress didn't actually pass or specifically instruct an agency to write a regulation for, it's my view and the current Supreme Court's view that it's unconstitutional. Rescind all of them and state on day one we're stopping enforcement of those regulations and view them as null and void. That grows this economy. It increases the supply of housing. Think about housing. We have land use restrictions. We have EPA restrictions that are limiting new housing construction. Increase the supply, brings down the cost, grows the economy. Energy, unlock the supply of oil, natural gas, coal, nuclear energy. Increase the supply, bring down the cost, grows the economy. Stop paying people more money to stay at home instead of to go to work. Increase the supply of labor. Most small businesses, the hardest thing they find right now to expand is to hire new people to fill those roles. So even before I get to reform of the Federal Reserve, which is a favorite topic of mine, that's not a day one item. Just literally day one. These are the kind of steps we can put into motion. And yes, I think we get back to 4% GDP growth, possibly 5% GDP growth.
It could be even
by the end of my
magnitude.
first term.
We might land magnitudes of growth because what we're going to do is transform into a hydrogen-based fuel economy.
Here we go.
They figured out at Rice University how to.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, they take what's called.
That is interesting.
He needed to hear that.
They use this,
but he's not, but I think that
they figured out how to make it profitable to make hydrogen, essentially. This has been the entire time. It's like it costs too much money to make the fuel. They figured out you take any carbon trash, you hit it with a laser called flash joule heating, 7,000 degrees for 0.1 milliseconds. And it turns it into, you can get hydrogen and graphene as a byproduct, which you can use as a building material to build houses, build roads, to enforce your roads by making them 3 times stronger. It's 200 times stronger than steel by weight, this material, pure carbon. And for every kilogram of hydrogen you produce with this process, you get about $4.50 of graphene. And then we can sell the graphene. You can also take the oil that this would displace. Technically, a hydrogen economy might displace the oil. You can turn the oil into graphene, so we can keep pumping it, and we can keep selling it.
Now, as esoteric as that may be for many people, the core fans of the show have heard it a million times.
Is that right?
I think the actual simple message, though, is innovation in the energy sector.
Yes.
Beyond just oil. It could be hydrogen. It could be fusion. I mean, there's big breakthroughs there. Nuclear energy.
You can pump the hydrogen through the natural gas lines of the planet. So we've already got an infrastructure. The guy's name is James Tour at Rice University. I'll put you in touch with if you want to go.
I would love to learn more.
You were going to say something?
No, I was just going to talk about nuclear energy in terms of one of the main obstacles to this. And this, I think, to the extent that this involves actually what exactly laser accomplishes, but is it sort of splitting of the nucleus?
It's electricity. Oh, what do you?
I think that it would not fall within the NRC's ambit, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission.
No, it's not nuclear.
Yeah,
this
okay.
process. It's physical breakdown.
Just physical breakdown. Got it. So I'll have to learn more about that. But I'm talking about at least the production of more kinds of energy in the United States, including nuclear energy. Again, one of the obstacles is the Nuclear Regulatory Commission.